Hello there, it's me, Egil Thorsson, and we're going to do a bit of history, imagineering if you will. Now, today we live a very comfortable life. People say, oh, what about the old days? Well, yeah, that's fine. But this time of night, there's no electricity, so how did they light the darkness? Let's see how dark it would be, first of all. Pretty dark, isn't it? Yep. Now, let's go back. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome. And here we have a lamp. This would be filled with olive oil with a wick, which would give just a small light. And that went on. Sometimes you maybe have a ceramic bowl, again full of oil, with a wick, again not a great light. You say, well, candles. I've got a beeswax candle here. This would be for something like a monastery. If you're wealthy, you use beef tallow with a wick, and that would give you quite a lot of light. It would stink, but... So what did the ordinary Viking in the street have as a source of light? That's interesting. You go to the riverbank and you pick out a reed. You then soak it in tallow till you have like a tapir. What's tallow? It's beef fat. Fat from the cooking. So you imagine some of you who are traditional will have a pot of tallow next to you, dripping if you like, and you'd stick that in and get a coating on it and light it with a flint and steel. So not very successful. This may be one reason that churches took off so well, because they would have lots of candles, and not even the Jarl could afford that many candles. So you could also have bowls with flammable liquid which you set light to, but not advisable, especially when you're living in a wooden house. But if you imagine going to church, here you are, you're living in Wattle and Daub house. You go to this stone building where there are people who are clean and tidy with flowing robes. There's the smell of incense and light, candles lit all around. It will be pretty interesting. Interesting is probably not the best word, but it'd be quite astonishing to see that there is so much light. And how many times have you heard, God is light? Darkness promotes, in some people, a fear because you can't see, because you're in the unknown. And of course, it reassures you that the light you can see, and you see God's light. So anyway, it's ironic that the Vikings Saxon medieval period is called the Dark Ages. It's called the Dark Ages because allegedly there's not much in the way of original source material. But it could be called the Dark Ages because you can't see very well. Again, this went on even in the Tudor period. You still had very few candles and tallow reed things. In fact, it's only till about the early 20th century when electricity came in. You had gas lights, of course, before that, but it was a bit dodgy setting fire to a gas jet in your house. But electricity was the big innovation, and it brought so much light. So next time you're walking along the street at night or in your house and you switch the light on, don't take it for granted. Remember, your ancestors lived in almost perpetual darkness. And if it's dark, what else can you do? Go to bed. On that, I will say good night to you. Have a good one. Please leave us your comments. We will get back to you. And your likes and dislikes. And press the subscription bell in the top corner. And you can also get to us on #folklore. Until then, I wish you all a good, peaceful night, and may God go with you. Bye. Who switched the lights out?
Put that light out! Put that light out!
I used to have a newspaper from the First War, and it was a local Hampshire one, and this guy got fined 2 and 6 for lighting his pipe up in the blackout.
Oh, yes. Because you didn't really think about that.
Oh, well, that's it. I mean, first air raids, but yeah.
I mean, could you imagine today trying to manufacture blackout windows for every house?
Well, I remember when the power strike was on in the 70s, and the trick was you had a fag on so that people could see this red dot. You knew to avoid it. And lights and torches, it's amazing. All the lights were out and people were panicking like crazy. So, yeah, should have put that in really. Okay,